and boxing. And third, I would say just becoming a filmmaker and being really humbled by the fact that it's really hard, and that, I've always just wanted to learn more about it, ever since I was really little. And I think that's why I love being a filmmaker, because you can never master it. It's something that you can always get better at. I would say those three things. My friends, first of all, because I went to, quote, regular school. Sorry, someone's calling me. Hold on.
That's okay.
I went to regular school with kids who were not in the business, and so they were not really impressed, and kind of kept me grounded in that sense, and
right.
And then, I would say, God, surfing is like so humbling. It's another thing that's really, really hard, and it's like the great equalizer, like I surf in Venice Beach, and there are a lot of celebrities and people that you would know just, I guess, by, seeing their face or whatever, but it doesn't matter when you're out in the water. Everyone's going for the same waves, and it's like,
right.
It's just kind of like, it's one of those things where it doesn't really matter who you are. Like, if you cut someone off, like, you're a jerk. Like, it doesn't, nobody's going to be like, oh, no, that's cool, man. You cut me off. Right on. Oh, you're awesome. I just saw you on nobody cares.
Right.
Okay, did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. Well, Stephanie, you're an actress as well as a screenwriter. What was your favorite part to play out of anything that you've done?
Oh, wow. That's a trick question. I've done a lot of theater. I got to play, like, kind of amazing, out there kind of roles. One of my biggest moments that started me off, I guess, was I got to play Kate and Leopold, that movie with Leo Schreiber and Meg Ryan way back when.
Right.
And it was terrifying and fun and kind of launched my career. Although my favorite role of all time was playing on this television show on Comedy Central called Strangers with Candy, where I got to play a mechanical bull riding bad girl. Which, that's just one of those, that's the kind of thing that making movies and TV is so fun, because you get to participate in activities that you wouldn't get to do in normal life.
Did you do a lot of practicing before that? I mean, I know those things are really hard to ride.
You know what? I think I was a natural. I did it. I am from Missouri, so,
Okay. So we're tough in the Midwest? Is that what you're saying?
No, it was a challenge to do that on set that day. I also got to do Kimberly's short film that she did in the AFI directing workshop, and she kind of wrote this really fun secondary part to play the best friend of the lead, Danielle Harris. And we got to play these, they were kind of cool roles, which Kimberly always tries to do, like kind of tougher two women that work in special effects makeup in horror movies. And so I got to kind of play the grounded backbone best friend. And Kimberly kind of wrote the part with me in mind, and it was really, really fun to see, like, her different version of me, but still me. And work with Danielle, who, I don't know, horror fans out there know Danielle is a really, really amazing actress and a great person. That was fun.
Well, as far as screenwriting goes, do you think it's easier to write a screenplay from a book versus writing a movie from, that's not from a book, that's just coming out of your head?
I don't know about easier, but in a certain sense, there's a little bit of a personal pressure that's off, in the sense that the movie that Kim and I are going to make is, if I have one chance to tell a story, you know, this is the story that I really feel like is timeless, and I really feel like it's going to affect a lot of people. And there's a lot of pressure on, like, if there's one thing that's 100% my writing, there's more pressure than adapting someone else's book, which is, you know, a beautiful challenge in that I get to bring a part of myself to something that exists that's hopefully already a really great piece of work.
Right.
But, you know, if it's as a disclaimer, I can stand back and say I'm just helping this person's vision. So there's more. I feel like there's more on the line when it's really just 100% my voice in the text.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that, and I know what you mean as far as bringing somebody else's book to life, because when I read, you know, you picture in your head that it, you know, actually happening, and so it's nice sometimes to see that on screen, as long as a lot of times they stick with what's in the book and not go way off course.
Yeah, especially with these books that have big followers, you know, you don't ever want to, you know, crush someone's beautiful vision of what these people look like. So
right.
It's tricky, but it's also just the amazing part of film and collaborations. Like, if you really get into how many different kinds of talents and people that go into making a movie happen, it's kind of incredible, and it's one of the things I think so beautiful about the experience of making films. And
yeah, that's really neat. I think that's a great job to have, and I would imagine it's not really a job to you because it's probably something that you love doing. Now, I was very surprised to
computer 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
I feel I wouldn't be doing anything else. It's so incredibly exciting and fun to you know, work in this industry when people actually show up to listen.
Right. Now, one thing I was very surprised to read about you is that you grew up in Missouri, in the town that your new film, and yours and Kimberly's film, and also Jennifer's film, is named after. Now, I am not even going to try to say it because I don't want to mess it up, so could you please say it for me? Creve-coeur?
Creve-coeur. One of the legend of the town is that when the fur traders kind of were trekking across the west, that the French fur traders kind of came in and took camp into some of the Native Americans' land, and there's this legend. In French, it would be creve-coeur, which means broken heart, but it's Missouri, so we say creve-coeur. But the legend has it that there's a lake, and a French fur trader came in and fell in love with a Native American princess, and they weren't allowed to be together because she would be dishonored from her tribe and he would be discharged. So they, like star-crossed lovers, committed suicide and drowned themselves in this lake that, if you look topographically above, looks like a broken heart. And I grew up, there was broken hearts on all the street signs, and, you know, no one could pronounce the name of the town either. No one really, one of the things that I found was so amazing was that there was this beautiful romantic story underneath this town in Middle America, and, I think that's kind of a metaphor of this young girl's journey in the movie of really trying to find beauty that exists in all around us when people kind of lose sight of it or focus on perfection or things on the outside, and that there's really bigger romance that can be found, and she's searching for that. So that's kind of where the broken heart story comes from.
Oh, wow. That's so neat that it's actually based on that, and it's of course, storytelling of any kind is great, but I love to know when there's something that's real also involved with the movie, and it's just me or, I'm sure other people like to know the history of things.
It's where I grew up, and there's a Broken Heart Lake, and there's broken hearts all over there's broken hearts all over the police cars and fire station cars, and that was really fun. Kimberly came home to meet my family and see the town and take some pictures for the video that we have up on our Indiegogo site. That's really fun. You guys should check out. And I got to take her to the Broken Heart Fire Department. see, and that was really fun. They were excited to meet her.
Aww. And you didn't pick up any firemen to take with you?
Well, it's hard to not like a hero. Yeah, to be determined. I think most of them probably had wives and daughters that wouldn't be happy with robin-scorpio.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, we always like a guy in a uniform, so. But the film is on Indiegogo, and you're raising money to fund the film, and you're calling it a dark comedy. It's already won an award, from what I read, and the film hasn't even been released yet to the public.
It was the Tribeca Film Festival, which is a really great film festival. If you don't know about it, it's started by the Tribeca Institute with Jane Rosenthal and Robert De Niro, has a program called the All Access program, which is basically they get unproduced scripts and projects and ideas before the festival itself to showcase underrepresented voices in screenwriting. And the script was chosen as, one of the, best new voices of screenwriting for the year. So,
right.
So that was what that
Well, congratulations. I mean, that's a feat in itself, to be able to win an award like that and just basically starting out with this.
Well,
although I don't know
great.
how long you guys have been working on this.
Well, a while. But we haven't really kind of put our heads together to really produce it or try to raise money for it. We've just been kind of, honing our craft separately. And then we really felt like we both had gotten to this point where the time was right and we were capable and ready to really try to produce it ourselves. So,
right. Well, with the award, that should draw more interest to you from anybody in the entertainment industry that you're trying to connect with as well to get this movie made or produced.
Sure. Yeah, it's always, legitimizing to get feedback like that. Yeah. But I think also more than ever, the industry, I talked a little about this, I guess, on Twitter the other day, but that the industry is in a kind of a different state than it's been in the last 10 years because they're really just looking at doing movies that are based on books or sequels, and they're a little bit more nervous to produce original content. So more than ever, it's important for the public and audiences to have their voices heard and say, no, we still want these kinds of movies to be made.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to the movie theaters and you're seeing, X-Men 13 and Wolverine 2 and Grown Ups 2. And I'm a fan of those movies. I'm not saying that I don't like those movies, but as far as, me growing up, the movies that I remember are, Welcome to the Dollhouse and American Beauty and, all these films that kind of, they stay with me forever. They're not just instant gratification, stuff my face with popcorn type movies. They actually taught me something and helped me to grow as, as a person, as an artist, and not to sound too cheesy, but really, movies have meant a lot to me.
Right.
So the industry, I guess my point is that the industry needs to be reminded that these films need to be made. And that's why crowdfunding is so great because you get to personally, literally talk to the entertainment. You get to talk to Hollywood with your money and say,
exactly.
This is what we want. I don't think Kimberly and I would have tried to raise and produce the money this way if we didn't think that this particular film would be so touching and so timeless to so many different people because I don't think that I could, in my right mind, go back to my hometown, go back to my friends and my family and Kim's fans who've been growing up for her and not ask them to donate something that wasn't this personal and heartfelt. I wouldn't go and ask my, high school English teacher who wrote me the most beautiful email last night to fund, my version of Iron Man, Iron Lady 7.
Right, right.
It's been so incredibly beautiful, the people that have come out to support us, and it's just made us we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't feel like this particular film would be something really special that people could